All right, let's begin working with the DOM by seeing how we can use the DOM APIs to discover information that's in a document. So here in Aptana Studio, or whatever text tool you're using, open up examplesnippets.txt and scroll down to the section in Chapter 5. I'm also going to open up DOM example1 underscore start.html, and you can see here that I've got a pretty simple HTML file. Down here in the HTML content, I've got an XML tag, which I'm using to embed XML content into the web page. Now, in real-world usage, you probably won't see it used like this. Typically, XML data will be the result of some web service call, or it'll come from a database, or you retrieve it using AJAX and then operate on it separately. But in the interest of keeping these examples simple and self-contained, I'm just embedding the XML content right here into the web page. Sometimes you might see this if the XML data is really simple. Maybe more often than not, you'll see it retrieved a different way, but just understand that this is valid and this will work. Now you can see that Aptana is giving me a little complaint here that, business card is not recognized and so on. Just ignore those for now. This will work just fine. Up here in the script section, I'm adding an event listener for when the window loads, and it's going to call this function. And I'm adding an event listener on the click event for this button that I have down here. So when the user clicks the button, we're going to show the business card data in a JavaScript alert. So when the user clicks, there's a function called display business card data, which is going to be called, and that's the function we're about to write. So over in the snippets, let's copy the first few lines of this function and paste them into the document over here. And I'm going to close off that function. All right. So let's take a quick look at what the first few lines are doing. So I have a variable called XML data1, and on the document element, I'm calling the get element by ID. So I'm asking the document to get me the element by ID that's XML data1. And you can see that that's the ID of this XML little data section right down here. Then to get the actual business card, I ask that XML data object to get elements by tag name for the business card. And remember, this function comes back with an array. And there's only one business card, so I just simply pass in a 0 index on that array to get me the business card element. All right, so now let's go back and take a look at the rest of the code. And we'll copy and paste these lines in here. And we'll explain what's going on. So I'll paste those in. All right. So right here, I have a variable called name. And essentially what I'm doing for each one of these variables is building up a string that I'm going to use in the JavaScript alert. So the name starts off with the string name. And then on the business card, I again call get elements by tag name because now I'm interested in the name tag, right? That's this one right here. So I pass in the name of the tag. And again, there's only one, so I pass in a 0 indexer. And then I use the first child property. And remember, the text that's inside the tag is itself another node. So the name tag is a node. The text inside of it is also a node. So I have to get the first child node and then ask for its data property. And that will be the string content of the text node. Then I pretty much do this for the rest of the tags in the XML data. So for each one of the phone tags, and there's 3 of them, I do get elements by tag name and pass in the index of each one. To get the attributes from the phone tags, I use the get attribute function, and I pass in the name of the attribute. In this case, it's type. So that's right here, right? And each time that will come back with the value of that attribute. Once I have all of these variables containing the data for all the various tags, I then call the alert function, and I just build up one big string with all the different strings and variables that I've retrieved so far. All right, so let's save this, and then let's go out to the file system and bring this up in the browser. Okay, so here in the file system, I'm going to double-click on DOM example1 start. I'm going to click on show business card data, and you can see that the alert comes up, and here's all the information that's in the business card, right? So here's my name, the attributes of the various phones, and so on. Click OK. Close the browser. All right, let's try it in something else. Let's try it in Firefox. And you can see it works in Firefox too. All right, let's try it in IE. And you can see there we are. The alert is appearing. All right. Let's go back to the code. So you can see that just by using some basic DOM APIs, it's pretty easy to discover the value of various XML content in your document.